This is Robin Wilson, host of The Education Connection, a proud member of the Education Podcast Network. Each show on the network is independently owned, and the views expressed may not represent those of other podcasts. For the best education podcasts, visit edupodcastnetwork.com.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and I promise not to bamboozle the audio unless it's for dramatic effect.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Hey there, how are you? We went to Minnesota, so now I have to talk like this.
Minnesota.
Even though Wisconsin is not much different.
I love that we go for spring break, and instead of going like Florida or Arizona, like everybody else does, like, oh, we're in the Midwest, let's go to a Midwestern state that's colder than ours.
Let's go farther north.
But so much fun and very spring breaky.
But the summers are great. That's what that's my mantra.
Here we are, episode 208, and it's fabulous because we're heading into fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that some school districts do spring break differently, where you might have it kind of over the Easter week or sometime in April. Some people have it where you have a break in February and a break in April. You go till June.
Yep.
Here, Wisconsin, most of around our area, we all have spring break about the same time. And it's always towards the end of third quarter, if not the very end of third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then we charge back into fourth quarter to survive school year.
Yay.
And it'll be great. So I thought I'd do a fun one to kind of liven things up for fourth quarter. And if you're in the middle of third quarter or a second trimester and third trimester, hopefully these will be fun and exciting to be sparkly about. So, Baamboozle. We're going to talk about Baamboozle and just a quick review of the Blooket updates that are happening. Baamboozle is super fun. It's a fun little gaming site. Not gaming. I mean, you do play games, but it's great for review and for vocabulary stuff. So, highlighting Baamboozle. Baamboozle, and so I should clarify, Baamboozle is BAMBOOZLE.com.
Yep. Bam.
Bam.
BAA, though. You got two A's in there.
Yes, BAA. Baamboozle.com. And it's made for teachers. Like, it's made by teachers for teachers. It's one of those cool educator things. So Baamboozle, very cool things. It's easy. You can create stuff however you want to. So it's created by other teachers, which I love, because then as you're pulling things as a teacher, you know that other educators are the ones that are creating the stuff. It can be used in any content area. So if you have from elementary students through high school students, you can load the content in as you need to, and you can search other teachers' content. So you can look for cell respiration or nouns and verbs, like whatever you're looking for, you'll find resources from other teachers as a starting point. The game can be played as a whole class, like on your smartboard, almost like Jeopardy. That's the free version. And I'll highlight too, there's obviously a paid version, but the free version's kind of like a Jeopardy game where you click on it and there's teams and they answer the question. You click on it again, it'll say yes or no. There's also options to review or study independently while you're doing it. And you can send out the link, so it's just if people have the link that they can use it, or you can make it public. And then it also connects with Quizlet or Kahoot. So if you have those already created, you can link those in, which is really helpful, so you don't have to start from scratch if you already have those things made, which is kind of nice. So if you go to Baamboozle, it's kind of fun just to say, Baamboozle.com, and it starts with, you have a little login, so you log in. You can join for free.
Okay.
And then you can go to games, where they have that game option I was talking about, which is like a Jeopardy game. And you can make your own. You can borrow other people's. So let's type in a topic. I actually was searching the Great Depression before because it happens to be the unit I just finished.
Sure.
But if I type in cells for science,
Okay.
it's kind of funny because if you look, it'll bring up cell phone things.
All right.
And then also it brings up science things. So if I want to go under cells, I can check it out and there's a game code. It'll load right in. If I wanted to, I can play, study. There's a slideshow that kind of does a slide deck going through similar to, I'd say like Quizlet, where you can go through and quiz yourself on like what stores water, food, and waste. Living things are made up of, and you click on it and it'll like give you the questions, which is cool. And so you have the option of checking all those questions first as a teacher. So there's a game preview. And then you can see what are all the questions? And then also what are the answers to make sure that whatever the other teacher has loaded in is what you want your students to know for that information. It's like what stores water, food, and waste, vacuoles, living things are made up of
Cells.
Hey, look at that.
Whew.
Inside, I did put you on the spot there. Inside every cell is a jelly-like material called cytoplasm.
Cell stuff.
All cells have a blank around the cytoplasm.
Wall.
Cell membrane.
I used to be a science
weren't you
guy.
going to school for
Pharmacy?
Pharmacy?
Yes.
Okay. So again, it's cool because as a teacher, you can see like, here's all the questions. Okay, here's all the answers. And then you can make sure that that has everything in it that you need before you start quizzing your students. Play, study, slideshow, or share it. If you go to share it, you can make a little class pin on or off. And then if you're going to go that way with it, if you're not just sharing the link, you can share the game link to your students, like drop that into Google Classroom if you choose to. And they have a link directly to Google Classroom, which is nice. They also have options to like email it or drop that in however you choose to. So there's options to do it that way. Now, if you're going to like create your own game, you would go to My Library when you have your little free account. And then in My Library, it's blank until you click Plus Game. Once you do, you can put in your title. So I'm going to say Things in Minnesota.
Things in Minnesota.
Yeah. Description, what we saw in Minnesota. What are the sound effects going on? Are you playing?
I'm pretending to play to give you some dramatic effect. I said at the beginning I was going to give some dramatic effect. Now I'm bamboozling the audio.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Thank you.
What's very cool is that you can choose a language. So if you want to support students in a variety of ways in your classroom, or if you're teaching a world language class, you can also set up questions that way. So you can go ahead and pick your language if you choose to. And then you can tag whatever you choose to. Again, public. And then if you have the paid version, you can go unlisted or private. I'm going to click Make My Game. Oh, the other option is they have this huge image library. And you will notice there are so many GIFs and memes on every single thing that you create. Because as a teacher, you can click a button and you can add a GIF.
Nice.
And so there are GIFs. So we got Big Bird going on here. You have different ones, so you can pick one. There you go. Make it go. Okay. Now, I will say with some of those, the GIFs come from Giphy. So not all of them would be like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to drop this GIF on my students' game. So just be aware of that. Like that's one of those where you can put a GIF on there or not. And if you do, obviously it's a teacher creating it, but it does open up every GIF on Giphy.
Yep.
So heads up.
Sorry, that was what happens if you put the wrong GIF on there and it's inappropriate.
Oh my goodness.
Or when somebody gets a question wrong in a quiz.
Are we still bamboozling here?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna make my game. And then you just do question, how many points it's worth. You can choose an image. You can answer. You can choose a question image or an answer image if you want to. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Load it all in. You can also, like I said before, you can import from actually ChatGPT, Quizlet, Word, Excel, Google Docs. You can load in your own question answer as long as you comma between them. It does allow you to do that. You still have to obviously go back and double check things to make sure it works the way you want it to be. And then boom, game created. And then you are right in the place where you can go ahead and guess the words and play the games and do all of the things. So it loads in all of your information and makes it easy to play.
Nice.
Yeah. So it is pretty cool. I like Baamboozle. There's a lot of different ways you can use it in your classroom. Like I said, any content area can play. You're probably going to want like middle elementary up just because of it's a lot of reading or self-paced stuff, unless you're leading it as a class. If you're going to lead it as a class and just do the Jeopardy board game,
Yep.
you can definitely do that with younger students. It's more or less, they have to just be able to kind of read the different questions as you go. And then those are all the free things, and you can see all the different free things offered from other teachers. If you want something more detailed or you want more game options, and then go into like the collections and stuff, then if you want to play different games, you will need to have the paid version of it. So there's just lots of cool options with that. So go ahead and check out Baamboozle.com. Again, they're games created for teachers, for classrooms, by teachers, which is super helpful.
Yeah.
And you can review all the content from cells to nouns and verbs to our visit to Minnesota as you find the most perfect sound effect.
Here we go. What is the powerhouse of the cell? What is the powerhouse of the cell?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mitochondria.
I was going to say that, but you put me under like pressure.
Okay. Oh, you won 25 points there.
Beyond Baamboozle,
Yes.
I have some other fun things to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Let's.
When we're talking about Blooket.
Okay.
Blooket, I will highlight, is one of my go-tos all of the time. If you're not a Blooket user, I understand, but Blooket is my go-to. I have all my stuff in it for my classroom. And I use it year to year. And I use it actually unit to unit. I use it all the time. Blooket has some upgrades.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, I have talked about Blooket before in like episodes 82 and 97. I've talked a little bit about it, or I've gone through like step by step.
Yep.
There's some cool things that Blooket has upgraded since like by, episode like 90 some episodes ago that I've talked about. So just some cool things if you are not a Blooket user, but maybe interested, or maybe you are a Blooket user and you don't know it. Blooket has now teamed up with Khan Academy to help you with a Blooket generator. So it will like use Khan Academy's AI tools. It's called Conmingo.
Conmingo, nice.
And it will help create questions for Blooket as well. So that's something you can export the questions you make in Khan to Blooket. And there's like a cool thing that they do back and forth. And that's been out for, I don't know, about a month and a half or so. And then, of course, they always have their fun little Blooks, which are the little animal guys. My students are very into collecting them and decorating their books. So when we compete in class and then everyone wants the cow, I don't know why we all have to have the cow. I mean, there's so many cute ones. I know it's because we live in Wisconsin, but there's so many cute other ones that I'm like, hey, doesn't anybody want this one? And I've made my own, and they're like, Mrs. Martin, that one's not cool. But I teach middle school. And then there's other cute books. There's special ones for obviously St. Patrick's Day. They had some. They have some coming up for spring, which are super fun and cute. And then also, if you have upgraded your version of Blooket, they also have new, a beta version of laser tag that's coming out. And so that's happening, like a laser tag game to play within Blooket. So there are just some cool upgrades to Blooket. If you are a Blooket user or haven't been for a while, it's worth checking out. And again, Blooket's one of those where you go to create, you choose your cover image, you load in all of your information. You can also input from Quizlet into Blooket, just like you can upload from Quizlet to Baamboozle. So you can go ahead and upload questions you already have created. You can import them, or you can manually enter them, and then you can upload your files as you choose to. You can make them public or private, and then you can go ahead and create your question sets for your students. So check out the new upgrades to Blooket if you haven't lately, and check out Baamboozle, because you can bamboozle all the ideas you have and ask all of the fun questions.
Yes.
And those are all the fun things.
All right.
To get you moving and started into fourth quarter, finishing third quarter. We're getting you through the end of the school year.
Getting you through
Baamboozle and Blooket upgrades. Thank you all. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, at SmartWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartandwi or visit smartandwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep the show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope they do. That's why we do this show. And we'll talk to you next time here on the Tech Tools for Teachers